All right, hello and welcome. So, if you're gearing up for your IBCLC exam, or maybe your pediatric boards, you've come to the right place. Think of this as your personal power-up session. We're going to tackle some core baby-friendly hospital initiative, or BFHI competencies. The goal? To turn that study time into a really focused review that's going to help you absolutely ace that exam.
So today, we're breaking it down into 3 critical areas. First up, we're going to start with the non-negotiable rules of the game. That's the international code. Then, we'll see how those rules actually come to life in facility policies and everyday practice. And finally, we'll get into the art of the conversation with some really foundational communication skills. You ready? Let's do this.
Okay, let's dive right in. Part 1 is all about the international code. And listen, understanding this stuff is the absolute bedrock of ethical pro-breastfeeding practice. I mean, these are the rules that protect breastfeeding from all those commercial interests out there.
So you might be asking, what is the code exactly? Well, think of it as a global health framework. It's designed to make sure that new mothers can make decisions about how they feed their baby in an environment that is totally free from commercial pressure. It basically regulates the marketing of things like formula, bottles, and teats. So, with that in mind, let's test your knowledge.
All right, first question for you. Which of these items is covered by the international code? Your choices are breast pumps, foods marketed for infants over 6 months, formula marketed for children up to 3 years, or nipple shields. Take a second, think about it.
And the correct answer is formula marketed for children up to 3 years. Now, this is a really key insight because it shows you just how broad the code scope really is. It isn't just about newborn formula, right? It also covers those follow-up and growing up formulas. Why? Because those products can also undermine breastfeeding.
Okay, next up. This is a classic ethical challenge. Picture this. An infant feeding company rep offers you some gifts. What's the protocol here? What do you do? Do you accept supplies for patients who are in need? Refuse everything flat out? Refuse only the financial gifts? Or maybe just accept some simple office supplies? Go ahead, lock in your answer.
The correct response is you have to refuse any and all financial or material gifts. The principle here is absolute. There are no exceptions. I mean, think about it. Even a seemingly harmless branded pen can create this subtle unconscious bias. The code requires a totally clean break to maintain trust and avoid even the appearance of a conflict of interest.
All right, let's bring this inside your facility. How can you, as a provider, help avoid the promotion of feeding bottles or teats? Your choices are prohibit any posters or materials that have images of bottles and teats, allow products covered by the code to be visible, display images of bottle feeding, or allow marketing of bottles. Take a moment on this one.
And the answer is prohibit any posters or materials showing bottles and teats. Here's the thinking. The physical environment sends a really powerful message. Every single visual cue within a healthcare facility, from the posters on the wall to the pamphlets on the table, should reinforce that breastfeeding is the biological, physiological norm for feeding a baby.
Yeah, this quote really nails it. It's all about making sure your entire facility, from the moment someone walks into the waiting room, visually communicates this one simple, powerful message.
Okay, let's shift gears into part 2 and see how all this builds on itself. We've talked about the big rules, right? Now let's look at how the code and other principles get translated into the actual policies, the day-to-day practices, and the monitoring systems you'll be using in your facility. So a good infant feeding policy has to be really comprehensive. The question is, which of these is a key element that it must include? Is it the specific products the facility uses, information on medications for lactation suppression, support for all mothers, or visitation times and guidelines? The correct answer here is support for all mothers, and that includes those who do not breastfeed. This is so important because it tackles a really common misconception. Baby-friendly isn't about forcing anyone to breastfeed. Nope. It's about providing ethical, evidence-based support for every single mother's informed decision. That inclusivity is absolutely key.
So let's talk about your role when it comes to this policy. It's actually really simple and absolute. Your job is to comply with the policy in all of your interactions with parents. Your job is not to pick and choose which parts of the policy you happen to agree with that day. The big takeaway here is universal compliance. That consistency across all staff is what guarantees high-quality, reliable care for every family.
Okay, so you have these great policies, but how do you know if they're actually working?
while facilities have to monitor their practices. So which of these is considered a sentinel or key indicator for BFHI? Is it cesarean section rates, maternal satisfaction with the hospital service, the number of training hours for health staff, or the rate of initiation and exclusive breastfeeding?
And the answer is the rate of initiation and exclusive breastfeeding. So why this one? It's because these rates are seen as really powerful indicators of public health. They give you a direct measurement of how effective a facility's implementation of the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding truly is.
All right, time to dive into our final section. And it's a big one, mastering foundational communication. We've covered the rules, we've covered the policies, now we get to the human skills, the real art of having effective, empathetic conversations that can truly support mothers.
Okay, this is a classic communication task for you. Which one of these is an open-ended question? Is there someone who supports your feeding decisions? What have you heard about breastfeeding? Are you planning to breastfeed? Or did your mother breastfeed? Which one opens up the conversation?
The correct answer, of course, is, what have you heard about breastfeeding? And this choice really demonstrates a fundamental communication technique. See, questions that start with is, are, or did almost always get you a simple yes or no. But questions that start with what or how, those invite a story. And that's where you get the valuable insight into a mother's knowledge, her beliefs, and her concerns.
Let's put this into a real-world scenario. A mother tells you, "I'm afraid that breastfeeding will hurt." Which of the following responses is most likely to actually increase her confidence? Is it dismissing her fear by saying, "For most women, the pain won't last long"? Or telling her, "If you listen to me, it will not hurt"? Or maybe, "Unfortunately, pain is present for many mothers"? Or finally, reflecting her fear back, "You are afraid it will hurt. Did you witness this with someone you know?" The best response here, by far, is the last one. You are afraid it will hurt. Did you witness this with someone you know? Here's the key. You have to acknowledge the emotion first. Before you jump in with solutions or advice, you reflect her fear back to her. This immediately shows that you're listening, it validates her feelings, and it opens the door to a productive conversation. And that is the foundation for building real trust and confidence. Okay, and for our last question, let's cover a really foundational piece of knowledge. What is the global recommendation for the duration of exclusive breastfeeding? Is it at least 1 month, 4 to 6 months, 12 months, or 6 months? And the correct answer is 6 months. It's a clear, simple, and absolutely vital piece of information. As a healthcare provider, being able to communicate this global health standard clearly is a core competency. It's that baseline goal that we help mothers work toward. So let's wrap this all up with your exam day takeaways. Think of this as your last-minute cheat sheet. Number 1, code compliance. Your action, refuse all gifts and promotional materials. Why? It's all about maintaining ethical integrity and trust. Number 2, policy adherence. Your action, comply in all of your interactions. The reason? To make sure care is consistent and high quality for everyone. And finally, number 3, empathetic communication. Your key action here is to ask those open-ended questions and always acknowledge fears. Why does this matter so much? Because that is what builds a mother's confidence and truly sets her up for success. I really hope this quick review helps you on exam day. Thanks for joining me.